Root cause, root cause, root cause. If you've been working at breaking free from your pornography addiction for any length of time, you've probably heard those two words screamed at you. You've probably been constantly told, whether it's by your coach, whether it's by your therapist, whether it's by your pastor, your men's group leader, whoever it is constantly telling you, you have to get to the root cause of your addiction. But very few of these individuals ever actually tell us how to do this. So in today's episode of The Rebuilt Man, I'm going to walk you through the 7 steps that we coach our men in, that we teach inside of the Reboot Your Life program to help you identify what is the root cause so you can stop falling into these destructive patterns of behavior that are keeping you shackled to mediocrity. And you can truly break free and transcend your pornography addiction. Because if we're ultimately going to cure and heal ourselves from this behavior, we have to know what that root cause is, because that's the only way that we're going to be able to put together a successful plan to become the man that is no longer addicted to porn. But what is a root cause? The root cause is nothing more than the underlying reason why pornography has become your drug of choice. It could stem from childhood trauma. It could stem from past behaviors. It could stem from lack of emotional self-regulation tools. But it's going to lead to some rewiring of the reward system. So a lot of this is going to be neurochemically imbalances in our brain. But if we can identify what the root cause is, then we know what it is we need to work on. So it's not just about knowing, hey, had some trauma from the past. I had an absent father that never showed me what it meant to be a man. I've had breakups and I haven't been able to deal with how women have rejected me in the past. It's not just about knowing these things. It's what do we do once we have that information? So I'm going to give you the 7 steps here today, but it's going to be upon you to process these, whether it's by yourself or collectively with some peer group accountability, but then actually take the information and the answers that are provided through these questions and put together a successful plan for you to break free so you're no longer caught up in the struggles of this addiction. And guys, if you've been getting value out of these episodes, if you're watching here on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We drop 3 episodes a week of The Rebuilt Man. If you're listening on the audio, make sure to subscribe there as well so you never miss a future episode. But the 7 questions that are going to walk you through how to identify what the root cause of your pornography addiction is. Number 1, ask yourself, when did you first start using pornography? Can you describe the circumstances around that time? How did it make you feel? Where were you? How old were you? For me, my healing journey required me going back to the 6-year-old Frank, finding a Hustler magazine in his dad's sock drawer, recalling and remembering the level of curiosity that those pictures gave me. But then also identifying that it was that point in my life, I began to hide things. And hiding things and keeping secrets became a part of who I was. It wasn't the part that I was sharing with the world, but my identity was somebody that wasn't walking in integrity. From the age of 6, I had secrets. So if you can identify the first time you started looking at pornography and get clear on the circumstances, the environments, the situations, how it made you feel, you may uncover that this has been something that's been with you for your entire life. The second question here is, can you identify any specific triggers or situations that lead you to have the urges to want to watch pornography? Are there stressful moments in your day that you are unable to process and handle and self-regulate from? Are there certain environments? When you walk into a specific room within your home, do you feel a certain type of way? Every time you go into the restroom and you bring your phone with you, do you instantly pull up social media? Do you instantly go to a porn site? That is an environment. That is a situation that triggers you. So if you can identify that and figure out, okay, why is it that I'm doing this? And then you can put necessary boundaries in place. So identifying the specific triggers and situations that lead you to the urge to want to watch porn. Number 3 coincides with the second question here. Have you noticed any patterns in your porn consumption, such as specific times of the day or particular emotional states? I've spoken with a lot of men that can't go to sleep at night without needing to release. I've spoken with a lot of men that wake up first thing in the morning and instantly need to release. If we could identify these patterns in our life, in our days, it may present to us deeper underlying issues. Emotional states, every time you're stressed, every time you're anxious, every time you're frustrated, on the verge of rage. Is this how you process and handle these things? The root there would be the inability to process and regulate emotions. So, recognizing and notifying patterns in both emotional states is something we need to be absolutely clear on. Number 4 is asking yourself, how do I feel before, during, and after consuming porn? Are there specific emotions that we're either running from or running to? Understanding how we feel before is an important thing because that may be the rush that we're actually getting. We know through neuroscience and a lot of the conversations that we've had with some incredibly brilliant people on the Superhuman Life podcast that dopamine is tied to motivation and pursuit. So, are we struggling with having meaningful pursuits in our life? And that's why we seek dopamine in the pursuit of pleasure with pornography? The root issue there would be lack of meaningful pursuits. We need to have things that we're working towards, creative endeavors, projects, side hustles, new ventures that bring us passion. And it's in the pursuit of a daily execution of the steps to achieve these goals that we will become fulfilled. We will no longer need to chase meaningless pleasure with pornography. So, how do you feel before, during, and after? Number 5, have you experienced any significant life events, traumas that coincide with the onset or escalation of your porn use? Was there sexual abuse in your past? Was there absentee fathers? Has a woman broken your heart? All of these things happen, and it doesn't make you a bad or weak person. It's the inability to handle and process those emotions once again. So maybe we need to seek therapy. Maybe we need counseling. Maybe we need deep inner child work. But we can only know that that's the steps that we have to take if we've identified that this is the root of our behavior. So significant life events or traumas that have coincided with the onset or escalation of your porn use. The 6th question here, are there underlying mental health issues, anxiety, depression, loneliness, isolation that you feel are connected to your porn addiction? And we get clear on every time I feel this type of way, that's what I run to. And once again, we know we need self-regulation tools to handle and process ourselves in those moments. Every time I'm telling myself I'm depressed, I run from those feelings instead of figuring out what it is that's making me feel depressed. And that's why I said it's not just about answering these questions. It's taking it to the next step and saying, okay, I've identified why. Now, what must I do to prevent it from still holding me captive? And number 7, I can tell you that there's going to be a vast majority of you hearing and watching this right now, that this is going to be it. Can you identify any negative self-limiting beliefs or self-perceptions that might be fueling your addiction? Do you believe because you saw pornography when you're 6, 7, 8, 10 years old and it's been a part of your life for 2 to 3 decades that it will always be a part of your life? Do you believe that for whatever reason you are not capable of walking in pure and absolute freedom? That is a self-limiting belief, brother, that I will tell you will always keep you victim, will always prevent you from being able to do whatever it is that is necessary to break free, transcend, and get free of this addiction. I believe lack of confidence and limiting beliefs is what holds the vast majority of men back. I was recently asked on a group coaching call, Frank, what's the one thing that we all must do? What's the one thing that we need in our life? And he was looking for something tangible. He gave some examples around lawyers and doctors, how they have to go through coursework and education and they get certificates. He was asking me to tell him that there's a certificate that he will receive at the end of his recovery. And I said, brother, it's your belief system. You have to believe that you are capable of becoming the man that is no longer addicted to porn. Because if you don't believe that to your core, that doesn't radiate through your essence of a man, you will always struggle. You'll always find a way to self-sabotage and bring yourself back to the destructive behaviors. So 7 questions, men, there for you to get clear on what the root of your addiction is. Take some time in processing these. Don't rush through these in the span of 10 minutes. Be honest with yourself in your answers. But then, like I said, it's about the next step after this. And we want to help you in doing that. You have to get clear on the vision for your life without pornography. You have to know who you can become. What life can you live? What can you create in this world that pornography is holding you back from accomplishing? I've done a 5-step training on how to get clear on the vision for your life without pornography. If you visit www.rebuiltrecovery.com/vision, or click the link down there in the show notes or the description box here on YouTube, take you right to the training and you'll have free access to this. But identify your roots, get clear on who you need to become, get the necessary support and accountability in your life. And brother, I can promise you freedom will be in your future before you even know it. Like I said, guys, if you're getting value out of these episodes, please make sure to hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel here. If there's somebody in your life that is struggling with this behavior, do us the favor and do them the blessing by sharing today's episode with them. But you'll never break free without understanding the root. You'll never break free without a vision. So rebuiltrecovery.com/vision. Click the link down there in the show notes. But we love you guys. Coach Frank, we'll see you in the next one. God bless.